Let's get straight to it. 2015 Honda Civic. This is the 1.8 liter engine. So today we'll be changing the oil on this vehicle, and this is the oil that I'm using, OW20, and this is the filter that I'm using here, CarQuest Premium. So I have the car safely in the air. I have my jack stand in place and my jack as well. So once you're underneath the car, you see what needs to be removed. So we need to access this area here. So we need to remove this whole piece that goes from the left to the right. It's all one piece. This can be removed. This comes off, but it can be removed as one piece. So to get this off in one piece, there's two 10 millimeters to be removed from here. So there's one right there, and on this side there's another one here, and after that it's just a bunch of clips. So you got a clip there, so you got a clip here to remove, and another one here in the front, and then there's about 3 in the back. So you have one right there in the back, you have one right there, and you have one right there. So that's 3 in the back, two in the front, and then the two 10 millimeters that's here to be removed, and that should be able to get this whole thing completely down. So to get these out, you can use a body panel clip style like this or like that to pry behind it. So you use this and you get to pry behind it, and then you can pull it straight out like that. All right, so once you get that cover off, now you can see what you need to see down here. So this is the bottom of the engine, and this is the pan, the oil pan, and this is the bolt that needs to be removed, the plug, to drain the oil. So I have my container down here as well. So this is a 17 millimeter bolt to remove, and once that bolt's removed, then that oil is going to shoot out that way and down. So you want to make sure you position this container to where it's right beneath here, where it would catch it. It will be draining down in here once it slows down, but it can shoot out and land in the bucket because it's going to be a trajectory down and out. So this is a 17 millimeter to get this out. So I'm going to start removing that now. Okay, so once we get it loose, so I can actually remove this by hand now. It's loose enough. So I'm going to, so once this is all the way out, it's going to start to drip a little bit, and then I'm going to snatch my hand away with the plug really fast so that I don't knock that stream and make it splash somewhere. So let's get this all the way, all right, just like that. So once it got loose, I just snatched my hand away, and now see the trajectory of it. It's going down and into the pan, and once it slows down, I have enough space where it will still drip right down into the pan. So technically, I don't even have to wash this anymore. So I'm gonna leave this to drain for about a good 10-15 minutes, and then I'll come back. All right, so while that's draining, it's been about 5 minutes since my regular drain plug is pulled. Now I'm going to pull this filter. I have a different container. That way I can still keep draining over here. So I'm going to take this. So if you can't get this out by hand, you can use an oil filter wrench or something to finish getting that out. So this is my trusty oil filter wrench. So how to use this, just put it around the filter, get a good grip, and then you can turn it. See, just like that, you can see I'm turning this. So this is the good thing about an oil filter wrench. So if you don't have one of these, make sure you put one of these in your toolbox. So now that it's loose, I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting this down. Now, as I turn this, it's going to start to leak some oil. So it's good to turn it, let it leak oil like that, and then let that finish dripping out, and then you can finish turning that all the way out. So let's let that drip for about maybe 5 more minutes, and then we'll come back and get that out. Now, if you don't care about making a mess, then you don't have to let this drip for 5 minutes. You can just put some gloves on and take that straight out. All right, so we got the old filter down there, and we got the container for draining, and we have the container that's draining our regular oil right here. So gonna let these drain, and then like I said, about 5 more minutes. It's been about 10 minutes total since I've opened this one, and I want it to drain for about 15. So about 5 more minutes of this draining and about 5 more minutes of that draining, and I should be able to plug this back up and put our oil filter back over here. All right, so it's time to get our new filter in. You can see here it looks a little wet because I pre-lubed this with the oil. So I get my oil filter and I just put the two maintenance surfaces together, and I just spin it a little bit to get some of that oil on here. So just make sure your oil isn't gunky and dirty, but this is decent, but this is good and clean here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in place right up here. Now, when you're tightening this, there's no reason to use any wrenches, oil filter wrenches, or anything. You should be able to just hand tighten this. Just make sure you put a lot of elbow into it when you turn it, and get a good tighten on it, just like that. All right, so now we have our filter on, we can go ahead and put our bolt back in. All right, let's go ahead and tighten that back up. Okay, so now it's time to fill the oil. So I'm not going to pour the entire bottle at first. So there's 5 quarts in here. I'm going to pour about 4 to 4.5 quarts, and then I'm going to measure it and then fill as needed. So after pouring the 4.5, after pouring the 4 quarts, I'm going to measure it to see where my level is by using this right here. And if I need more, then I add the remaining that's in here. So after checking my fluid is in a good spot, so I don't need to add any more oil. So let's get this old oil that we drained out of these pans into this empty container. So using this funnel here, and I'm going to just pour as much as I can of the old oil back in here. And once it's in here, I can take it to the store and dump it in the oil bin.